And let's cut across to the big breaking news that's coming in right now. We're switching focus to some other stories as well, as the Supreme Court has dismissed a petition filed by Zakia Jafri, the petition against the Gujarat High Court order which rejected her plea against the SIT decision that questioned the clean chit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this is big breaking news that's coming in. The Supreme Court essentially upholding the Gujarat High Court order which ensured a clean chit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and 62 other persons for their role, for their alleged role in the Gujarat riots. This is big breaking news that's coming in. There was a petition that was filed in the Supreme Court on this. Nalini Sharma is joining us live with more details on this. Nalini, take us through exactly what the petition stated. This is a big breakthrough that's coming in. The Supreme Court upholding what the Gujarat High Court said in ensuring that clean chit to Prime Minister Modi.
Yes, Akshita, Zakia Jafri, who was the widow of a Congress leader called Ehsaan Jafri, who was killed during the 2002 Gujarat riots, had approached the Supreme Court challenging the clean chit that was given not only to the PM but also 63 others by the SIT that was investigating this entire case. And today, 2 decades after the riots had happened in Gujarat, the Supreme Court's given its judgment and they've gone ahead and said that this petition that was filed by Zakia Jafri is devoid of merits, and on the basis of that, the Supreme Court dismissed the petition. They've also gone ahead and said that they've upheld the order of the magistrate that had accepted the report that was filed by the SIT, in which PM Narendra Modi along with 63 others were granted a clean chit regarding the issue of
Nalini, my apologies for interrupting, but let's get a reaction from the BJP on this. Shehzad Poonawala is joining us on this broadcast. Shehzad, this is a big vindication for your party, a big vindication for Prime Minister Modi as well in the Gujarat riots case. Shehzad, can you hear me? All right, not sure if Shehzad Poonawala is with us. Nalini, my apologies for interrupting you earlier. Go ahead, give us those details.
Yes, Akshita, like I was saying, that this entire petition was filed by Zakia Jafri challenging the clean chit that was granted to the PM along with 63 others. And what the Supreme Court said while dismissing the petition is that this petition was devoid of merits, and also that they've chosen to uphold the order of the magistrate that had accepted the report that was filed by the SIT in this matter. What Zakia Jafri had claimed before the Supreme Court was that there was a larger conspiracy behind the 2002 Gujarat riots, and that larger conspiracy should be probed. And she, in a sense, had challenged the decision of the SIT that had granted a clean chit to 64 people, including the Prime Minister. Today, the Supreme Court laid the matter to rest by stating that this entire petition has been dismissed because it is devoid of merits, and also the fact that the report that was filed by the SIT and was accepted by the magistrate, that order has now been upheld by the Supreme Court 2 decades after the riots had happened in Gujarat.
All right, so this is big breaking news that's coming in right now. In a clear vindication for Prime Minister Modi, the plea that questioned the clean chit that was given to him in the riots case has now been dismissed, as the Supreme Court has essentially upheld the Gujarat High Court order. Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP is with us on this. Shehzad, your reaction to this news break that's coming in, big vindication for your party, for Prime Minister Modi as well.
सत्यमेव जयते, सत्य को परेशान किया जा सकता है, पराजित नहीं. The truth always prevails. The magistrate had accepted the SIT closure report. It was upheld by the Gujarat High Court. It was upheld by the Supreme Court. But there is a cottage industry of Modi baiters, and in their haste to, in order to remove their political vendetta against Prime Minister Modi, who was then Chief Minister, they went to the extent of defaming Gujarat. They went to the extent of defaming India. And today, those people have got a resounding and a befitting reply from the Supreme Court. Today, those who insulted Gujarat, those who insulted India, should come out and apologize for this cottage industry of hate, propaganda and poison that they were trying to continuously peddle in the name of the Gujarat riots. Today, they should come and tell us, will they not accept this final closure report of the Supreme Court, or will they still continue to poison minds and spread propaganda merely because they hate one man who's doing work for this country? So this entire propaganda has come to be exposed by the Supreme Court. We always knew the truth will prevail, but unfortunately, those who are the purveyors of propaganda and hate today have not been able to come out and apologize that they have been the ones who have been creating this kind of propaganda against Gujarat for entire 2 decades.
You know, this has gone on for a long, long time, and essentially what the Supreme Court has said here, Shehzad, is in fact that they've referred to Zakia Jafri's plea as being devoid of merit and deserving to be dismissed. Do you believe that all of this was a conspiracy to target Prime Minister Modi, drag him and, you know, bring the Gujarat Riots case back in focus?
You know, it was always evident because many other matters which came up in the courts, none of them could hold ground. In fact, people had written books on this. Those books were completely disregarded by the Supreme Court. People had made false accusations. Those were completely busted in the Supreme Court. So these people behind whom there was a hand of support, there was a hand of patronage to kind of push this propaganda against Prime Minister Modi have been completely exposed today, not once, not twice, but multiple occasions at the highest forum of law, that is the Supreme Court. Today the question is that this hand of patronage, which was driving this cottage industry of hate and propaganda, will it come out and apologize for the kind of hate that they have propagated against the people of Gujarat and the propaganda that they created 2 decades ago merely because they could not stand one personality? They defamed Gujarat and they continue to defame people of Gujarat.
Okay, Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP, thank you for joining us on this broadcast. So 20 years after the Gujarat riots, the Supreme Court there upholding the clean chit to Prime Minister Modi as well as over 60 others. This was, of course, based on a petition that was filed by Zakia Jafri, where she claimed there was a larger conspiracy, and Nalini is with us on that. Nalini, the petition essentially said that there was a larger conspiracy. It also questioned the SIT report, which had given that clean chit to Prime Minister Modi.
Well, Akshita, yes, you're rightly saying that because this matter has been pending in the Supreme Court for quite a while now. It was senior advocate Kapil Sibal who was appearing for Zakia Jafri before the Supreme Court during the arguments in this case. While on the other hand, we had senior advocate Mukul Rohatgi as well as Solicitor General Tushar Mehta who were defending the clean chit that was given to the Prime Minister along with the others that were involved in this entire matter in the report that was filed by the SIT. What the Supreme Court said today, the entire case was reserved back in December 2021, if I'm not wrong. So it's been over 6 months since the matter was reserved, and finally the verdict from the Supreme Court in this long pending case has been out, where they've said that this petition is devoid of merits, and on the basis of that it's been dismissed. They've also accepted the report that was filed by the SIT before the magistrate and the decision of the magistrate in accepting that report that was filed by the SIT. We are still waiting for the detailed copy of the judgment to understand what all issues the Supreme Court closely looked into to realize that this entire petition was devoid of merits and should not be entertained any further. But at the same time, it is only after we get the detailed copy of the judgment will we be able to exhaustively say what is the decision of the Supreme Court based on. But right now, in a one-line order that they've given before, the bench of Justice E.M. Khanvilkar has made it clear that this is the end of this case that has been long pending before the Supreme Court. There will be no probe into the larger conspiracy behind the 2002 Gujarat Riots case, and along with that, the clean chit that was granted to 64 people, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and was accepted by the magistrate in Gujarat, has been upheld by the Supreme Court.
Okay, so 20 years on, this brings some closure to the entire case that's dragged on for many, many years in our courts as well. Nalini, thank you very much for joining us with all of those details. Gaurav Bhatia of the BJP is joining us on this broadcast. Gaurav, your first reaction to this news break coming in from the Supreme Court. After 20 years now, the Supreme Court has now upheld the clean chit to Prime Minister Modi.
I would say that the Honorable Supreme Court has given a verdict which is of great importance to everyone. And it shows that though justice has been delayed, but justice has not been denied. And we welcome the judgment because it shows the perseverance of a person who believed in rule of law, who waited. And now today, this judgment comes. The important part is that this has been taken. Now the opposition also should put an end to the dirt.
Looks like we've lost that connection with Gaurav Bhatia, but the BJP is claiming that this is a big vindication. And they're also lashing out the opposition, saying stop raking up the 2002 Gujarat riots now to target Prime Minister Modi because the Supreme Court has now given him a clean chit in this matter.